Hello there. I'm here to pull cards for a timeless message from Spirit. And so I'm trusting Sacred Spirit to bring this video to you at exactly the right time for it to be beneficial for you. What I'm going to be doing is pulling cards talking about a situation that Sacred Spirit would like to bring up to you or bring to your attention, and then advice for you in that situation. For some of you, this situation may not have happened just yet. It may be coming up soon, but for most of you, it will already be happening. For those of you that it hasn't happened yet, then it's a little bit of a heads up of how to handle it when it does come up. All right, and I would say you should expect it to come up within the next 3 days from whenever you see this. All right, let's jump in, shall we? Situation that we're looking at first off, and then best advice to deal with that situation. All right, so situation that we have showing up is the Three of Air. By the way, this is called the Good Tarot, is the name of this tarot deck. Three of Air is heartache or heartbreak. Okay. Queen of Earth showing up in reverse, crossing the heartache or the heartbreak. Okay. So what is going on here for your situation? Okay, so I'm actually pulling two different stories here, so this message may go two different ways, and so for some of you the story may apply one way, and some of you the story may apply another way. Don't worry, the advice will also answer both of those. Spirit's pretty good at this stuff. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing here is we've got some kind of heartache or heartbreak that I'm looking at here that is caused by somebody who has cut you off from whatever generosity they were giving you. So if they were investing energy or effort or time or even money into you or into a situation that you have, trying to help you to move forward, they are no longer doing that. In some cases, they're not able to. In other cases, they have just decided that it's not a good idea and they have pulled back from investing in that. And that is giving you some real heartache or heartbreak here. Okay. Now, in other cases, you simply have a situation where you feel like you don't have enough to be able to do everything that you want to do and to be able to help all the people around you that you want to help. And so you're feeling very restricted and very limited because of the amount of resources or the amount of finances that you have. Okay? Could be one way or the other. For some of you, we could have both actually going on. One could be causing the other. All right, but let's look at best advice for this situation. So advice cards that are showing up here are the Eight of Air in reverse and the King of Fire, who is right side up, and then the Seven of Water. Okay. Now, Eight of Air in reverse is a card that tells me that part of the reason that you're feeling restricted or part of the reason that somebody has cut you off is because of something going on in your own mind with this card. The Eight of Air talks about our own perceptions, our own limitations, because of our own perspectives. Okay. So there's something going on that you've been thinking or some way that you've been looking at something that has kept you restricted and limited. Nothing on the exterior has been limiting you or restricting you. This way of thinking has brought that into being, has manifested it. Okay? So now the advice with this card coming in reverse is you have to look at this situation where you're feeling stuck now. You have to start looking at it more objectively from a different point of view. Okay, if you can look at this from an objective point of view, if you could imagine telling your mailman, and some of you have heard me use this as a bit of advice before, but say that your mailman really is pretty neutral, or your mail person, let's say that they're pretty neutral about your situation. Maybe they don't know that much about you in general. If you can imagine telling this situation to your mail person and imagine what their reaction might be, what they might say, that can help you get into a more objective mindset about this. Just to think about, how would somebody else think of this? And if you're not able to actually do that, then talk to somebody who's objective. Talk to somebody who, has no skin in whatever this game is, and just watch how they react and what they think. Because that's going to help you to open up your mind and see where your own perspective has been limiting you. So that's the first piece of advice, is you're going to have to change that perspective to come out of this restricted feeling, or to come out of this cut off situation. All right. Now, King of Fire showing up here. So the King of Fire is somebody who doesn't let culture or society tell them how they should live their life or what they should do. They're very good at problem solving because they do think outside the box. They don't follow everybody else's rules and restrictions and limitations. This King of Fire may be exactly the person that you need to talk to help yourself get a new perspective on this. But it doesn't have to be. I do feel like this is somebody that you're going to end up talking to about this situation, or at least the advice is to end up talking to somebody like this about this situation. So somebody who thinks outside the box, somebody who may be a little bit unique, unusual, eccentric, because they don't let culture and society tell them what's normal and what's okay. They do their own thing. Okay? This would be somebody kind of like Einstein. Everybody thought he was cray-cray. Actually, he was a genius because he didn't let their thoughts convince him of who he was. Okay. This is somebody who has a lot of enthusiasm. This is somebody who likes to make the people around them laugh and be happy. This is somebody who has a lot of optimism. Okay. So you want to look for that character in your life because you want to talk to them about this situation. You may want to bounce ideas off of them, but you may also want to hear their input on, how do I move forward with this once you release yourself from that old perspective? Because when you release yourself from that old perspective, that's the first key. The second key is figuring out, okay, well, now I'm not limiting myself. What's the best way for me to move forward? And I think this person is going to be integral in helping you figure out what would be the best way to move forward. All right? Seven of Water. This is my Daydreamer's card. Okay? Sometimes it can talk about energy being scattered, but when we're looking at it as advice, that would not really fit as the context, now would it? Now, what else is daydreaming? Those of you who have been watching me a while, you know that daydreaming is the first step in activating the law of attraction. So this card is saying basically like what John Lennon would say, imagine. Start imagining how you want things to be. Begin working that law of attraction consciously so that it'll work in your favor moving forward. Write yourself out an affirmation and start using that affirmation, but imagine what the ideal would look like. What would the ideal feel like? And allow yourself to feel that. Okay? So, first of all, free yourself of the old paradigm, the old perspective, the old way of thinking about this situation. Talk to somebody who thinks outside the box. Somebody who's really good at problem solving. See what their take on this would be as far as best way to move forward. Those are the people you want to talk to, the people that aren't like everybody else. If you do what everybody else does, you'll end up like everybody else is. Is that the ideal? Is that what you're dreaming of for your life? If you want to be like everybody else, then yeah, do what they say. But you want somebody unique. You want somebody who's doing bigger things. You want somebody who's bolder. That's who you want to talk to about how you move forward from here. And then you just start imagining life the way you want it. That'll get you there. That'll start bringing that in for you. Okay, so that's what I have. Thank you guys so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you back on the next video. Peace out.